Ladies and gentlemen of the crypto space, we're live on a Monday, June 14th at 11:33 a.m., and it's time to figure out what the heck is going on with these markets. What are we doing? Why are we doing it? How are we doing it? There's questions we ask ourselves on a daily basis, fears and doubts that we attempt to overcome, logic and reason that we attempt to deploy. All we have is choices, boys and girls. Choices of where to put capital, choices of left or right, up or down, A or B. Choices that most folks don't see, but we see options. And we have been doing what we've been doing for a long time now. And I know many folks joined me more recently, and the vast majority of society has been left out of this conversation for forever. The vast majority of people don't know about crypto, don't know about DeFi, don't know about putting capital to work, don't know about anything other than a direct deposit or a payday check on a Friday. Dare we say a payday loan? Most people don't know about this stuff, but we do. So we have choices and we're able to act in these choices, hopefully with logic and reason. And even if we're right or wrong, there's a certain sense of not conviction, not commitment, but I argue it's respect, and that's what really made me want to write the title of today's stream: Dollars, Tech, Bonds, and Crypto. Respect the portfolio. What is respect? What does it mean to respect ourselves? What does it mean to respect our money? What does it mean to respect the time that we expend working and these companies give us dollars as compensation? What does it mean? You know, these are deep thoughts, these are big thoughts. And whether folks realize that these questions are presented to us, they are here and we're going to discuss them. And I hope more and more people see the presentation that I have. Then they get to think these thoughts and ask themselves these questions also. Too many folks go through the day not asking the questions of what is the purpose of this system they created. They just accept it and take it for granted that this is the way it should be. Day in, day out, working. Obviously, there's plenty of us that are very satisfied. I myself am currently satisfied with my work. I work for a very respectable company doing meaningful things. But day labor and trivial menial manual labor, I've done it myself for many years. But there's a certain emotional response that comes from engaging in that kind of daily activity. It's a bit depressing. So I'm very thankful I've been able to get to where I am. And I can only hope that more people could find their path and find their purpose. And there's purpose, there's meaning with the crypto space, real meaning. It's not just payday loans and paychecks, and because that's some depressing shit. At least there's hope, there's logic and reason. At least there's a glimpse of a better way of technology actually getting deployed to supplant the status quo. That's what I see in the crypto space. And that gives me all the conviction I need to know that my capital is deployed correctly. I've watched depreciation. I've watched the balance sheet go down. I haven't watched the asset count go down. I've watched the asset count go up. Now, historically, I got to get into the stream. I'll flip it to the main screen. But historically, folks have looked at the crypto space in dollar denomination, BTC denomination. That was a big meme back in 17, 18. Are you up in BTC or are you measuring your portfolio in dollars? As Bitcoin was ripping, alts were down, but the dollar denomination value of those alts were up. So, what is the best way to measure our relative success? And it was quite not the case, especially in 17 and 18, to think of success in terms of quantity of alt assets, quantity of crypto assets. But I want to reinvigorate that ideology for very rational reasons. There is more meaning in these altcoins than there are in US dollars. These assets have purpose, they have function, they have utility, they offer you rights, which is really the essence of freedom. They give you rights, revenue share rights, extraordinarily powerful assets. They literally will give purpose to someone's life. You have allocated value that you had to work for to an asset that makes you a part of a system. Owning dollars doesn't make you part of shit. All right, let's get into the stream. I want to hit you guys' comments. Today's episode is sponsored by Change Angel, the non-custodial swap exchange for social good. Stop depositing on exchanges, not your keys, not your crypto. Non-custodial DeFi or nothing at all. Let's pop it over to the main screen and see who's in the stream. We got Matthew in the house. Thanks for having us. How was the weekend? I got away a little bit with the family. My lovely girls and my wife will be coming back today. I had to come back for work. But we're back in action. It was good to get away for a little bit and try and unplug. Try. George, hello everyone. Good to be here. It's a pleasure. Ding ding. Good day, Noah and friends. I'm learning about Alchemix right now. Seems a really cool project. Alchemix and Scroopy Trooples. Oh yeah. I see opportunity costs, but that has nothing to do with it being one of the handful of projects that I think is extraordinarily meaningful. It is a derivative platform, and those smart contracts are intelligent, crafty, thoughtful, and powerful. James, good morning. Chris, morning, sir. Hope you are well. Thoughts on convex on curve? Thank you. That's my everything right now. That's the core of my entire balance sheet. Convex is a revenue share ownership. Um, there's derivatives of it. I'm sorry. Curve is a revenue share ownership. So it's you own a part of the platform's transaction fees, and Convex is a derivative of it that facilitates amplified returns from those dividends. That means everything to me. Now, I know that many other assets will likely outperform. Bitcoin may outperform at times, Ethereum may outperform at times, but that's okay because I've allocated my value to something that gives me rights, that gives me property rights, revenue rights, and that means everything to me. Um, I'm heavily skewed towards Ethereum over Bitcoin. I wish I had at least like a little bit more Bitcoin. I'm just waiting for some cash to come through, and then I'll have my Bitcoin position. Not much. It's a small part of the portfolio. It's probably less than 10%. I'm much more allocated to Ethereum at this point because the narrative of it as a system of function, a system of utility. It's extraordinary. When you look at the legacy system, that's a system of jack shit, a system of repression and suppression of innovation. So I know where my value is allocated. It's allocated to best express the way I see the markets, the way I feel and view the markets. And no matter what the dollar denominated value is or the Bitcoin denominated value is, I am respecting myself, my opinions, my perspective, my view, and that gives me comfort. I am showing myself respect. Robert, a little late to the class, but I'm present. Yes, sir. Welcome. Bhavin, welcome. Div, greetings from Australia. One world, one people, one place. Let's do this. We all can do better. Hunter, could you talk about specifics of how your curve is deployed? I know it's mostly on convex, but is it just held in CVX, CRV, earning percentage? Do you also provide LP there with the cash position? I'm almost nothing in cash. Cash makes me feel uncomfortable. It's not right. You know, we get defensive with cash because we fear the dollar denominated value depreciating. And I've watched a lot of, I've watched my portfolio go up 3,000%. And right now I'm sitting on probably 1,500%. So it's down probably about 45, 50% from all time high. No, a little bit more. Maybe about a little bit less, of 35, 40% from all time high. But that's a red herring for me that I am becoming more and more comfortable with. Why the hell am I looking at things in dollar denomination? I have my cash flow. I have my work. I have a capacity to work. This is all a value allocated for the future, for hopes and dreams that the system is going to be different. Because there's nothing about the status quo that's satisfying, that's meaningful. There's nothing about anything these politicians are doing that gives meaning to our lives. It's all just a mad scramble, like a perverted orgy uh, of 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 capitalism that's just so skewed from what the founding fathers wanted. The banks are in control. The private sector's in control. They've been given too much power. It's a perverted system. It's not something that makes myself happy, and whether it's subconscious or conscious, I'm pretty sure it makes most people not just uncomfortable, but straight up unhappy. It's disappointing and frankly disturbing what's going on. But we had 220% debt to GDP for the equities markets. Nothing that I am interested in, nothing at all. That is something I'm not interested in. I know where my capital is best served. Sure, fine, gold bugs. You got me with some gold. You can't hurt to have some coins, stack coins. Whether it's coins that are digital or physical, whatever it is, it's not dollars. It's not this perverse system that doesn't technologically make sense anymore. It's on its last legs. There's nothing honorable. There's nothing honorable about the dollar anymore. It's become a beacon of perversion. Wave, hey Noah, hope you had a great weekend. Thank you. I did. Hunter, a pleasure. Heirloom in the house. Morning, Barry DGB. K. Carthus. New to the channel, deposited a small amount on Curve and then the convex last night. Still trying to wrap my head around how I'm supposed to be earning Curve to turn into CVXDRV right now. You'll see in the claims page you get emissions, 3 curve, and CVX emissions. Ali, your India narrative was confirmed today with the news out of India exchange integrating Polygon. It's a heck of a narrative, but I think it's quite lucrative, and I've had my capital deployed there before. I think the platform is extraordinary. I think the developers are extraordinary. I think great things about it. I've said it many times. You can't own everything you want to own. And you have to deploy your capital to what you think not just necessarily outperforms, but best expresses your view of the markets. So I will allocate my capital to something that I think will outperform less. I will make less money doing some of the things that I'm doing, but I am respecting myself and I am expressing the way I view the markets. And that gives me comfort and conviction. More to come, I bet. That's right. That's right. Great, great video, Ali. It's a pleasure. Great vision. I had to scroll down. Chris, thank you. You're welcome. Sir Joe, present. Yes. Heisenberg, should one get uncomfortable when the APY increases fivefold in a week? Iron Finance. That's an experiment, and it's increasing fivefold in a week because Titan is going exponential. Now, what concerns me is what happens when Titan goes asymmetric to the downside. We don't know how their algorithms are going to behave. I wouldn't apply capital to that, in my opinion. It's outside my comfort zone. Sure, if you take 1% of your portfolio, but are you really going to change your life on 1% of your portfolio? And are you going to sit around babysitting it to understand whether their algorithms are working or not when you have other platforms that you know the algorithms are working and are stable and are doing what they've been doing for a year and a half, 2 years. So I find it fascinating. It's an experiment. It's just an experiment that I don't want to participate in. That's the best way to say it. George R., more coin. That's what I want. I want more coin. I want more property rights. I want more governance rights. I want more revenue share rights. That's what I want. Kenji, guess what I did last night and this morning? More coin. See, the thing is, the more coin really just comes from the crypto space. It doesn't have to come from an external source of revenue. We work. That's our capital for living expenses and our overhead and so on and so forth. So the more coin literally just comes from itself. We have governance rights. We have revenue share rights, and we're just accumulating it. That's profound. That's what dividends were supposed to be. And now the companies have become zombies, and the dividends are in dollars. So there's nothing that's honorable about the structure of the way legacy businesses are handled financially, how the securities are crafted to share dividends of what? What are they sharing dividends in dollar denomination? Why do you give me this? Not even if they give me the stocks, more stock. But the problem is now you have the monetary policy of the security. I look at everything in terms of monetary policy. They can issue shares whenever the hell they want. There is no monetary policy. There is no fixed supply. There's nothing meaningful to these securities rules. They can issue however much they want to raise capital. Capital, dollar denominated capital. The entire legacy system, the stock market, securities, it's just done. I have no interest in it. It's antiquated. It's like it's immutable, meaning it's like they can't upgrade it. And it's the worst system ever because it's failing. Modify it, improve it, iterate. They do nothing. They're not making it better. They're not fixing anything. So why would I have any interest in it? I'm an engineer. For me to respect myself, I need to have interest in things that are technologically interesting. Why am I going to have something that's why am I going to have interest in something that's technologically deprecated? And we're talking literally the entire stack, the entire legacy financial system stack, from the securities markets to the banking rails to whatever, the primary dealers to the central banks. It's deprecated. Whether they know it or not, it is. As an engineer, we see it. It's blatant. It's obvious. They're holding on to a dying system because they don't know anything better. Maybe I have some empathy for them because they literally don't even know. So many people just don't even know that it's dying and done. Maybe I feel empathy for them because they're literally just oblivious or they're negligent. It's one or the other. Hourglass. Boom, shakalaka. More coin, Kenji. Matthew, is it possible institutional investors have enough Bitcoin to control the market? Control equals volatility. Well, it's an open market, so anyone can do whatever they want to do. What I know is that anyone that has a lot of capital is going to push around the market. It's a free and open market. It's not the equities market. It's not controlled. It's not regulated. But that's exactly why we want to be here. We want a free system. Tired of regulations and authority telling me what I want to do with my life, how I want to manage my finances. I want to do the things that I think are right for me. I want to do the things that allow me to express myself. I seek freedom, not conformity. I want to conform because nobody wants to be that far out, like Birdie from Money Never Sleeps. But it should be voluntary, not be enforced, because then we're heading down an authoritarian road, and that's just scary. Looks like Polygon down right now. Network congestion. Change your RPC. You always have like I always when I was doing full on Polygon, you always had like 2, 3 RPC connections. George, trying to change. Yeah, that's right, George. Yeah, the network is fine. There's nothing wrong with Polygon. Just the RPCs get overloaded. So make your own RPC here. Uh, Dashboard here. rpc.maticvisual.com. Make your own RPC. So I put up. I haven't been showing much content lately. I'm more talking, but I don't know. I think I get wrapped up in my own words and my own thoughts. It's a nice poll. It's kind of obvious. Crypto. What's the folks looking for hope out of the to outperform financial repression? It's really just crypto. Bitcoin looks solid. It's above 40K. You know, some folks say it's going to hit resistance. I mean, it is technically. Where's the numbers? It doesn't have numbers on the weekly, but I'll have it on the daily. Um, we're almost at the point 382 on the fib. I mean that if that breaks the 41,500, that'd be nice to see. Ethereum looks nice too. It pushed its way back into its sim triangle. You know, obviously that trend is no longer there, but I've had it up. Um, that's above point 0.5 right there. Let's go over to the 4 hour to get some numbers. That's the 0.382, and 0.5 is way up above. Um, so I don't know. I have my allocation to Ethereum. I feel very comfortable with it. And this is the more interesting one. This is where the vast majority of my capital is. $2.26. Dollar denominated. What's the matter with me? Doing decent against Ethereum and Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been outperforming. So at times Bitcoin outperforms, at times Ethereum outperforms, and at times Curve will outperform. What we do? As long as I have my revenue share, my governance rights, and my freedom. Hunter, also, do you pull all of your rewards immediately back into the system to compound, or does some of it go into stable coins? So I'm structuring my operation as a business. So I'm going to incorporate. I'm currently accumulating, which means revenue is going to be likely converted to dollars and deposited into a bank account. I'm going to have payroll. I'm going to pay myself a salary, and I'm going to manage taxes in the form of a corporation. So income will be processed accordingly. S corps are a pass-through entity, so S corps don't pay any income tax, but in turn they pay payroll tax. So I'll be paying payroll tax, you know, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, so on and so forth. Um, and I will be paying income tax. I'll issue myself a W-2, and I'll take corporate distributions. So I don't, or maybe I'll have retained earnings on the corporation. You know, not quite solid on how optimally to structure the distribution aspect of the capital, how to reinvest the capital optimally and effectively. But in the end, that's the path I'm interested in. I'll structure it as a corporation. Um, Structuring it any other way, I think, is something that I'm entertaining. But I think, according to status quo tax policy, that's the way I would like to structure it as a business, because they have no idea what they're doing with regard to structuring it as like securities or interest on stocks, or you know, the yield on stocks and gains on stocks. They have no idea what they're doing. The way the taxes are managed, it's just not representative of anything remotely comparable to the way it is, what it is. I mean, these are literally dividend bearing instruments. So, and they want to treat the yield as income, not a dividend. I'm going to structure this thing as a corporation. I'm going to pay all the taxes and structure it as a corporation. What a ridiculous set of policies. They're so slow to adopt. They literally, these policies that the IRS and various agencies come up with are a disservice. Don't they want the revenue? Don't they want people to easily manage their money? Don't they want people to pay taxes? No, they literally say, we're going to use the oldest fucking policies we could think of. We're going to make it so impossible and so unmanageable that people are just going to hate us. And is that not the case? Is that do is if could you imagine if it was actually easy and our tax dollars went to good things? We'd be like, "Oh, I love my country. I want to pay taxes. It's an honor and a privilege." No, they literally make it a burden. They make it like it's painful. We should have honor in our country. We should feel honored to pay taxes. That's what's wrong. We should feel honored to pay taxes. Do you understand the words? That's what disturbs me the most. I should be honored to pay taxes and comply with rules and regulations, not feel repressed and suppressed and feel like an authoritarian regime is trying to tap me for my productivity. They're literally that's what it is. That's the status quo. They're literally trying to it's like the Matrix, they're trying to and suck out the productivity from you. They literally have created a system where the people are tools. What a shame. Heisenberg, what do you think of claim invest type stablecoin yield farms where the farm token will be staked for 3 months? Adamant Finance also we can do better. Damn right we can do better. So Adamant's interesting. Now I've stayed away from Adamant and what is it, Beefy. I mean, auto compounding protocols are actually really good for from a tax perspective because you can achieve long-term capital gains. Like Yearn as well, you can achieve long-term capital gains with the platform, but when you have to claim, that's going to be income, and that's going to be more on the lines of a business structure, which is what I'm seeing as the best way to express such a balance sheet as a business. Whereas, auto compounding pools are more so like a long-term investment, which can achieve long-term capital gains. So, both are interesting. I just there's no one perfect way to allocate value because I'm doing it my way because I'm expressing myself. Everyone here needs to express themselves. They need to do what they feel is right for their opinions, the way they feel, their gut instinct. That's a very subjective realization. No, everyone's expression should be different. And we could share our expressions, which is exactly what we do in the stream. We all tell and talk about what we're thinking, the platforms we like, you know, and that's a good thing. And that way we could compare and contrast and come to our own conclusions. How's your portfolio currently positioned? Do you see Bitcoin gaining dominance? Maybe. I'm no longer interested in dollar denominated gains. I'm no longer interested in Bitcoin denominated gains. I'm more interested in respecting my opinions and feelings of technology and innovation. A vast majority of my portfolio is allocated to Curve in vis-a-vis CVX CRV, a Curve derivative asset of VE Curve, which is basically tokenized VE Curve, which gives me governance rights and revenue share rights, which is just coupled with monetary policy derived incentivized yields with CVX atop. I think the, the Convex platform is powerful unto itself. CVX offers a revenue share of the Convex platform. So CVX CRV is distinct from CVX, but CVX has much potential as well. I don't have a large CVX position. Um, I've done a variety of different strategies over the last couple of weeks, but it's quite depreciative. But in theory, it should have a floor because it has a very high revenue share. It's probably cranking out like 90% right now, which is really cool. But I don't need a large position because I'm going to attain a large position from the other allocations. So I'm going to build my position instead of allocate the value. I wanted the value allocated to Ethereum this morning. Um, that just best expresses my view of the market. If that's actually quite interesting. Let's see if it holds on previous support because resistance support didn't flip resistance here. If you realize, so support flipped resistance here, but then it broke through, and now support has held technically. So if you zoom out, this is technically what's called an aberration, what I call an aberration. So in many regards, this trend is still valid. If you're looking at the 4-hour, it could even bump down support a little bit, a couple of ticks, get to the bottom of the wicks. So we're nicely above support. I don't know. I'm not much for TA, but I like what I see. Love the platform. Love that Ethereum. Love that Polygon. I'm going to wrap this up in a minute. But Mike, good morning. Happy Monday. Green is good. It is good. Hunter, preach. I thank you all. I appreciate it. 86 people in the stream, 31 likes. We can do better. Markets look good. Express yourself. Respect yourself. Sure, it's important to think in dollar denomination in some regards because you have bills. So you want to be able to cover your bills. And if you could take a salary, you could take a salary, so on and so forth. But there's something more meaningful going on here, guys. There's something that needs to be more because people need more. People need to have hope. People need to dream that things could be better, that things could be different because everyone's so dissatisfied with the way things are. And there needs to be a way to express our dissatisfaction and express our hopes and dreams that it could be different than the securities markets. They call it the equities markets. Meanwhile, there's literally no equity in the security because can you collateralize it? Can you collateralize it trivially or permissionlessly? Like we can with Ethereum, you drop it on Aave, you can get a loan for however much you want in 2 clicks in 2 seconds permissionlessly. You can't do crap with a security. You literally can't do anything. The only purpose of a security is to sell it. That's the only function. You buy it and then you sell it. And that is the stupidest financial instrument I could think of. It's literally stupid. There's no function to it. There's no utility. It doesn't do anything. Serves no purpose. It's representative in the most part of zombie companies that have borrowed money, then they can't manage their debt, and the only reason they're solvent is because the government debased the crap out of the fiat currency. Ridiculous. Digibyte's a big deal. Digibyte's a big deal, and that's an honorable way to express your view of the markets. Uh, as always, no value allocation is perfect, and there'll be many assets that outperform. How do you define outperformance? What does it mean to you? So, is dollar denominated outperformance meaningful? Is Bitcoin denominated outperformance meaningful? Or maybe more coin is the outperformance that's most meaningful. And for me, that happens to be the case. And I'm able to get more coin by generating revenue from platform transaction fees. So to me, that's a self sustaining business operation. Um, so that's my view of the market. And it makes me comfortable because it allows me to feel like I'm expressing myself without repression, without inhibition. So Monday, June 14th, 12:06 p.m. Discord is hot. That's the place to be. Friends and family in there at this point. And it's a great place to fact check your ideas, your observations, to get feedback. It's the people in that forum have been there, done that. It's a been there, done that forum. The experience in that forum is extraordinary. And we're all there to help because that was my original idea. I want to help as many people as possible do better. And everyone in there feels the same way. And the truth is, we all can do better all the time. So I thank everyone for joining. Tell everyone to subscribe. Have a great